Graduates, well, go on. How is everybody doing? I hope you are all well. How is everybody doing? Like up the live as soon as you guys come in. We have so much to talk about. Look here, no man. I said today's class is going to be full of information. Full. Because I can't keep up with all the things that's taking place, but I'm going to do my best to bring it all into perspective for you all. I'm trying out a new setting, guys. Can you guys just give me a thumbs up that you can hear my voice? First of all, I'm trying out a new setting so that I don't have that big circle in the middle of my graphics. Yes, can you all hear me? Because if you can, I'd love to see some thumbs up in the chat that you can actually hear me. All right. Tell me if you guys can hear me. In the meantime, I'm going to go through while you let me know. Okay, brilliant, Jay. Thank you. I'd hate to be here nattering to myself. Right. Good morning, Arlene. Good morning, Drea, Prayer Warrior, Noriax. Big up yourself, Pottinger Naturals, Pauline Montague. Big up yourself, Marencha Dawn in the building. As she says, welcome one, welcome all to A Touch of Class with HTK. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to show your appreciation to the channel. That's all we ask. Lita Travels, big up yourself. Judith, big up yourself. I see you. It is what it is. Big up yourself. Good morning indeed to wherever you are in the world. Barbara Finley, good afternoon. Melmar, blessings to you as well. Margaret Hendricks. Yes, indeed, I am very well. Sandra Taylor, big up yourself. It's great to catch your live. Wonderful. It's always nice when people catch the live. No, it's awful for watch the day. Melmar, big up yourself. Jay Summer, good morning. Beverly G. Wagwa Marencha Nama, good morning. Big up yourself, my sis. Anetta Brown, good morning. Noriak says, per the remittance, it's many ways to skin a cat. People be smart now. Watch how you're spending too. We're going to go into it because I'm sure a lot of people are concerned, both in Jamaica and in America. You understand? Because a lot of people rely on those remittances. But we'll get to that subject. We're going to break up the live in bits. We're going to focus first on spice, get that out of the way. Then we're going to roll into the other subjects. Rosemary, big up yourself. Pumpkin, good morning. Zenergy, what's up, my member? It's Simply Nats, good morning. It is what it is. Roll out. Yes, man. Beverly G, you can hear me? Okay, bro. All the thumbs up tells me it's time to get started. Right? You just have to sign your name on the register. Okay, very good. Pi Gordon, Wagwan. Faith Bell and Pauline Henry, good morning. Good morning, my graduates. What a punkus pampankas? Hmm? What a punkus pampankas, people? About spice. Hmm. So, I'm sure by now you've picked up that the Ono Spice Tour is under fire. And Spice has expressed her upset at not being allowed to visit other schools since the start of the tour. She did manage to visit a couple, but after that, it was said that a pastor, an apostle, is written to the churches to simply say she is not worthy. She's not of the right caliber to be a role model in schools. Isn't that interesting? Now, Jamaica has chimed in, and you can hear all over TikTok various perspectives about spice. And I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely adore Spice. I like her as a person. I'm a fan of some of her songs, but not all of her songs. For me, when lyrics get too explicit, I kind of check out. You understand? But Spice has done a variety of songs, but she is more famous for the lewder part of things. Um, and interestingly, the song which influenced this particular school tour, the Hell No song, had already started to kick up some storm from before it was introduced as the launch song for the school tour. Now, the launch song, people, is the reason why the apostle had a problem, right? That is the reason why the man never happy about it, right? And I think it's important that we separate our love for Spice and what she represents and what she does for dancehall and all of that from Spice the mother, Spice the humanitarian, Spice the person who wants to give back to society. And recognize that everything she set out to do was a wonderful thing. I'm gonna just put that on the table. But there's a but. There is a but. You understand? And we're gonna be as fair as possible because sometimes people get caught up in them feelings, them like, them are gonna say, boy, because of Spice, because, you know, a dancehall related, blah blah blah, why them a gear a fight. And to be fair, I have seen a lot of dancehall artists with some of the listen, a whole heap of dancehall artists missing go in a school, go visit and do performances. Right? Not necessarily give backs either. But them go in and them do performances, right? And when you listen to the lyrics of some of these artists, they are some of which 10 times worse than Spice, referring to devil worshipping, taking Molly, and all kind of things. But I'm gonna say this. The apostle, I listen to the song. Is the church wrong in their stance towards Spice? Let us really try and reason it. And I think the only way we can do that is to look closely at the launch song. So when the song first came under fire, it came under fire in the earlier part of, or at least the middle of January, and it was considered to be kink shaming. And you may not know this term, Kink shaming. Was the criticism that Hell No received. Now, the criticism came from certain fans who basically said that the high school themed music video was an attempt to shame people who preferred a kind of freaky nature of man and woman things. You understand? So it was called kink shaming. At the time, Spice did respond and said that, listen, she never even knows a kink shaming exists, right? And her response, the exact words were, to all freaks, I'm not trying to shame on my love, but I'm sure there's levels to this and a stop button. And me know and not every freak I make man pee pee in them mouths and spit on them. So all the ones who's about that life, I've attached a song at the end of this slide that you can gladly go sing to. However, I should still be allowed to say what I want. She then added, I said what I said. Allow me to instill this one into our youth in peace. I thank you. Bye. And then she had included a clip from the music video for Pretty Face, which is another kind of, it's a compilation track by another artist. So the aim of the song is to basically make schoolers fully aware of their rights to say no to compromising their values. It is, in fact, about the importance of self-worth and learning and being dedicated to pushing themselves further in their academic choice and pursuits. That's the whole point of the song, Hell No. However, within the song itself, it does speak of certain things that are, you know, physically intimate in nature. And I'm being careful with my choice of words. So we're going to look on the lyrics. I want you to tell me if the apostle was right. And then we're going to go through an article that came in the Star, and you're going to hear some even further perspectives of professionals in academia, in education, who really are not for her being there. So anyway, let me share my screen. So give me a thumbs up when y'all can see that. Yeah, nice and biggie. I like that very much so. So the refrain begins with me and my friends them attack things, and I realize me not do certain thing. Feel like me out of place and things, cause me not do them freaky things. Me not take no golden shower. Cause me no boy could never. Now hide and be night undercover. Cause me and no muckers are no bumper whatever. You understand? Now, this part of the lyrics here and this are synonymous in meaning. When somebody say you're taking that, them a talk about that. You understand? So she is playing the role of a girl who a talk to her friend them, and her friend them I said, boy, me would I do this, me would I make a man do this to me, and me would I make a boy do this to me, and and she feeling out of place because she's not into these kind of things. Obviously, the scenario in itself paints children to be very hyper aware of adult things, and as such, um, is kind of sensitizing children who perhaps did not know what it meant to go and find out what it meant. Because remember, say almost every picnic now have phone, Whenever I sing them something and them say, I want him so. And then them go look it up, they're gonna get exposed straight away to what it means, right? Even if them never know before. Some already know. And then the language here, Mina and na hide and be night undercover, is quite, straight out, and I saw it go. Anyway, she carries on. Me know for a fact say me have the whap. This me not do and me not take it back. But in a mouth, oh yuck, that's whack. No, me not pop. Me not go take. I'm deliberately not saying the words because I know my graduates can read. You must be crazy. Boy attack and me not look. Me not cheap. Me not give away quick joke. Quick joke. Me not give away quick joke. Me not cheap like exercise book. All right. Now, me have the WAP. What are you trying to tell young ladies that they should pride themselves in having? Is that a pride in the possession that's down there? I mean, is that something we want to have as a badge of honor? I'm not certain. This me not do and me not take it back. Nothing wrong with that line. This is about throwing a jab at other dancehall artists who have said these things in lyrics, which is equally disgusting, if not worse. And she's saying that they're not repeating the lyrics. Okay, that's borderline allowable. Okay. This part, she's also hitting out at what other dancehall artists have said in their lyrics which children sing on a regular basis. This is reality in terms of what the kids are celebrating out there. Skeng, I believe, is one of the biggest ones we sing about them kind of thing here. And all of the kids them know those lyrics inside out. Okay? Whether we like to admit it or not. But the reference to it is not necessarily something you want to hear chanting through your school corridors, is it? So let's carry on. This part boy attack me now look, that's good. Me not cheap, me not give a quick joke. So if you give away a long joke, meaning that you take a while to give away the joke, does it make it any better once you're in a school? Hmm? How about no joke at all until marriage? You know, so we did have one lady come in when I was going to add in. We did have one lady come in and talk about abstinence. It coming like them thing they stop talk at school and I don't know. But anyway, let's go. So look at that language. Let's be very clear. No boy could have never dare. Look there. Looking at the song. Me now read it out. I don't even know if I can highlight it. Derek, look. Look at that. Eh? I'm asking you now if you don't think so the apostle was out of line to ban this because remember this is her launch song. And if you take the time to go on social media and go to St. Catherine High, and I think I can't remember if it's Morton Bay or one of them. Go to the other school. Every time she enters, this song is on blast. And yes, it may be censored in that they, take out this particular word, but the kids subliminally accept the message and know what word would have gone there. And when I listened to some of the recordings of the kids in the background, I could hear them saying it in the audience. So let's be very clear. No boy could have never dare. F me and my friend and freak me out cause me no man clown and boot around here. Let's be very clear. No boy could have never dare. Repeat it again. You understand? So then she goes on, no boy can treat me like that. Can't walk upon me like a doormat. No boy can meet me and freak me and video me and leak me. That a full stop. Nothing really wrong with that thing. But freak me is a very adult, it's a very adult phrase. The connotation is very adult, okay? But I can understand this is about protecting yourself from being exploited online and stuff like that. So that is fine. Oh no, hell no. And then she goes into this whole thing again about these golden showers, right? Um, Millennial or Gen Z, I don't know which one more freaky. Me now go no party. And no boy can get my body easy. Okay? So you want your children in school to be singing about this? We know the message, guys. But we're looking at the language. The message is sound. The message is good. The message is exactly what these kids need to hear and understand. That this is the kind of things that they should not be saying. But I am saying to Spice, as much as me love you, how in goodness name did you imagine that this launch song could be one that would be appropriate in a platform of education, some of which are under the influence of churches, because the institution of churches and schools are very much hand in hand. Many schools are under religious guidance, right? Some of them are set up by churches. Big up yourself, Trish Dan. Yes, my love. So I'm asking you, how is it that you are not aware that these kind of lyrics being played as your launch song would cause concern? And instead of highlighting your humanitarian side, your maternal side, your charity side, your side where you want to give back to your community, it will connect immediately to all of your lewd lyrics from dancehall. Come on now, you are a mother. Would you want your children to be singing out every part of these lyrics? Is this something that the language that you would want your children to be singing? And if you are facilitating that, then that is questionable. You understand? And then she goes on again with the pre-chorus about the quick juke business. And then a repetition of the chorus again, which repeats that same kind of language, not once, but twice. So, really and truly, and then it starts over again. Really and truly, everybody that I've heard that is up in arms and getting all upset about the fact that spice should be allowed, are not thinking about the marketing dynamics behind Spice's entrance into the schools. And I think sometimes you have got to be deeper thinkers and pay attention to small steps that led to a big catastrophe. It's not about the fact that Spice um is only known for the slackness in a dance hall. No, because those who follow Spice and those who are hardcore besties, because they coming like beehive, no ramp with Spice, right? Those who are hardcore besties knows that Gracie does a lot of different types of songs. It's not just the slackness, and she's a wonderful person. But your PR is the one that is to blame. Because your PR is supposed to be aware of the cultural dynamics of our nation. You should also be aware that in many ways we are extremely prudish and proud to be prudish too. We do not believe that children should be singing these kind of lyrics and that these should be the kind of lyrics that take the lead on a message as good as the one that you are trying to deliver. You understand? Really, Tamara? You see what me I talk about? Tamara said, girl, stop. I could swear I saw a video of Spice and her daughter singing a verse of that song. I was behind. Hold on there. Let me pin that. Let me pin that. Let me pin what Tamara say. See it here. Well, you see, me not really pre-Spice like that. But is what you're saying to me. So you see, she did on TikTok. Okay. Well, you see, because for her it is fine for her kids, she's thinking it's fine for everybody else's. And remember, American context is extremely is there a clean version to this song? I would imagine there is a censored and a radio friendly version. There's a radio friendly version to most dancehall songs, especially those that have crossed international borders. But listen, children sing the uncensored because it's a time to be rebellious. And like I said, if you go to the videos where the children are filmed when she enters and stuff and the song is playing, them sing the dirty bad word. You understand? Them sing the bad word. So what I'm trying to say to you guys is that as much as it may be covertly put in a censored way, it doesn't matter. It's still the subliminal message is still there. And I genuinely do not believe that the church was wrong to take a stand the way they took the stand. But they would have had no right to do it if this song was not taking the lead on the message she was trying to deliver. If she was delivering that message in a different vehicle of marketing, and they then said that Spice couldn't come, then of course Jamaica could have, listen, we could have tear down the place and go on with self and say justice for Spice. Because a whole heap of other dancehall artists going to school, missy them going to school and perform. Be it one off or whatever. They don't necessarily do tours, but them go and do one off performances. And they are known for nastiness. And the things that them sing no right. But because it's a one off, the school get for just squeeze in one performance and then go about them business. But this is of a higher magnitude. Yes, the same hypocrite church people, them have ground to stand on. And this is what when I like admit, when I like give them ground for stand on, because I don't want them win. I would love to come out here and say, no, them out of order and them this. We know that a lot of rubbish is happening in Jamaican churches, and there's probably something personal or political behind this. I'm not going to lie. And it is also hypocritical to imagine that a lot of the things that are said in that school, the children don't already know about it because the internet has exposed our kids to so much more. Right? She really and truly wanted to come out to speak to young people in school about normalizing saying no to anything that devalues who they are. That's what she wanted. And that is a very positive thing. My issue is why not work with Spice? So we get to the point that yes, them have something for say and them have a reason for say it. Okay, we get it. The lyrics no wonderful. We don't necessarily want them to sing out them things in the schools. But considering the double standardness of how you guys approach artists going into schools who have got lewd lyrics in their canon, why could you not have worked with Spice in a way that actually tempers how she approaches the schools and the music that takes the lead? Wouldn't that have been the more Christian thing to do? Wouldn't you want to bring somebody over from the side that's only considered to be dark and full of sin into a side where she's actually doing something positive for society? Could you not have had negotiations with Spice, you leaders of schools, to say, look, Spice, you are doing a wonderful thing. But honest to goodness, we don't want this song, this what business or whatever, taking the lead when it comes to the way you are marketing it. Unfortunately, while you may want to do good, you cannot use that song as a launch over here. You can do it over there. You can put it in your press that it has inspired you to want to go. But surely it cannot be present. It's too much. You understand? That would have been Christian. Because the woman wasn't coming in there to try to do anything bad. And this is what I don't like about people with extremist perspectives. Tasha says, if she did bring her money, then we'd take it. That's exactly what you just said. I haven't even seen it yet in Natasha. I'll go take a look later. I'm saying that we have to learn how to work together as a community in order to get the best out there for our young people. And there are very few people whom children look up to more than artists who have a mega influence through the industry of music. Children love the artists them what them love. And not many of them are willing to go into school to do work to condition or rather to recondition the minds of young people along the lines of preserving themselves for better opportunities. So if you see an artist of a global scale, somebody who has taken dancehall to all corners of the earth, who is willing to take her time to come into our institutions to deliver a message, why not work with her in tempering the marketing package? Why shut her down? That is my final point on it. I do agree with what the church has said with regards to the lyrics of the song and the fact that it is being used as the front-facing mechanism of access in the schools. It's not okay. Because them the lyrics that will go through them. Them not alright, them too much. But I'm sorry. the aim, the message, what it would have done to hear it from Spice is far more valuable than you church people getting up on a high horse when so much skeleton in a fihuno closet. She's not coming to lay hands on people and pass on demons because me know say some of you think. Whereas some of the church people full of demons put on a hand on people and transfer them all the time. You understand? It was too extreme a reaction. So I'm going to share with you this article that came out in the papers today. And you're going to hear some perspectives from educators as we look at this, right? Yes, may hear. So them do thing, them do video and whatever. And it's Spice is the mother, so she must know. But I personally would want my kids singing about that. You understand? I would not. That's just me. Right? I really don't see the big headache when we have known that Spice has since time immemorial separated Spice from Grace Hamilton, the pastor. Look, so him should have noticed. Yes, that is true. That's what he's saying. But let me also explain this to you because this in itself would go against spiritual doctrine, Nicky Nicks, right? Just to address your point. Um, when you have somebody who says they operate on two personalities, Christian speech will tell you straight that that is demonic behavior. That you basically preserve a part of yourself for being a normal human being, and that you will allow the demon them to enter when you're ready for broke out. That's how them are gonna rationalize it. You really need to think on different levels, right? So while we who are not necessarily church people will recognize that you put on a persona, because some people might say that when I hear you online and see how you are online and then I meet you in a real life, you might come across I might come across differently. You understand? So it sometimes is a case of when you are performing, you may take on a persona, and then when you're just chilling, you is a different somebody. But the way the church are gonna look on that is right. She sang it, but she did not sing the adult parts while doing it. Nikki Nix, did you hear what I said earlier? That I heard that they had censored that, but I heard the children singing the adult parts. So they're not gonna look at that as anything that's commendable, to be perfectly honest, right? Not all church people are hypocrites. Hypocrites are everywhere, and that is true too. But a lot of the church leaders are. I'm not gonna lie, because at the end of the day, don't you think that that reaction in itself smacked of um unforgiveness, no meekness, no grace, and no pun intended, no grace? The harsh reaction, if God was to treat us like that, a whole heap of we would have gone to hell in a basket. Just think about it. There is no reason why they had to take that kind of stance and not choose to work with the lady for the good that she wanted to deliver. You see me I say? Yes, Sasha Fierce and Beyonce. Let me not tell you. So look at this response here. So let me finger up this before I go in that article. Yeah. Separate which Spice from Grace Hamilton. Okay. Accept person who take a 3 point who today and come tomorrow. Some say he leaves his at home, so he's not a correctly rubbish reasoning. No, sir. Well, and this is how the church would have looked at it. Do you understand? They will look at you as a whole, and you can't look at them and say that's not really me. They're gonna say it's a part of you. And as much as it, we understand in terms of theatrics and artistry that people do these things, it very much impacts on who you are. I mean, we're going to go into the Akademiks case later, where we're going to talk about how, theatrics can get you into damn trouble. But anyway, let's look at this article here. Okay. President of the National Parent Teacher Association of Jamaica, Stuart Jacobs, is expressing outrage that dancehall superstar Spice was allowed to organize a school tour. Spice does not have the moral authority to go into a school where young females are, or even young men are, to speak, period. Mighty God. Mm-mm. That's pretty harsh, isn't it? She has, so remember, before we were discussing the apostle's perspective, right? He was sticking, specifically to the song. This person has gone even deeper. She has created a platform of indecency, lewd, slack lyrics that have nothing to do with the proper development or the positive impact of a child in Jamaica. No principal or school board at any level should allow the likes of Spice in their space. Though expressing belief in reconciliation and redemption, he maintained that certain immoral acts cannot be erased. The society that we live in and the fact that we are grappling with crime, indecency, and this lewd behavior from our children, which is influenced by adults in our society, like the likes of Spice, she should never be seen as a role model or be allowed in a school. Spies should not only be allowed in a school to pick up or drop off her child, or to witness a member of her family graduating, but not to do anything like that, Jacob stated. Any principal who allowed spies in their schools to speak to their children means the fiber of our society is eroding even faster and is scared the hell out of me. Spice started her own no school tour on Monday in Portmore, the place of her roots. She said that the tour, which is inspired by her recent single Hell No, serves as a motivation to the youth to normalize being different, to stand out and say no to certain immoral and physically intimate habits that devalue their character. Spice planned to visit 10 schools to empower young adolescents through advocacy of self-worth. However, Spice said yesterday that her plans might be cut short as schools were canceling visits. Jacob said that Spice, as well as artists who perform Pai Pai lyrics and chopper songs, should not be giving any platform to address students. Now, hello, that's the only fair thing I've heard him say, because if you're going to cancel Spice, you need to cancel Valiant, you need to cancel Skeng, you need to cancel all of them. When next one name was said Drift and them, all of them. You have to go cancel the works. You understand? And not just look at Spice or whatever. You may be using Spice as an example at the moment to make an example out of the situation, but you now have got to stipulate something in education policy when it comes to the entertainment and the leisure of children, and make sure that this is right across the board in order for it to be fair. Because right now it's looking very unfair. Because I have seen too many times artists going into school who have these kind of lyrics in their canon. So he then went on to say, I totally disagree with any artists who are lewd to be allowed around our school children. We're banning their music at home and in our public transport, but still we're inviting them to schools as glorified past students. Come on, man, hypocrisy, man, Jacobs opined. But listen to this now. Pastor Joseph Williams of the Calvary Evangelistic Church of God opined that you can't use anyone's past to condemn them. So here we have another church member who is actually opposed to the banning. He quoted the book of John chapter 8 verse 7 when Jesus says, so when they continued to ask him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, he that is without sin among you, let him cast a stone at her. You know, say that's that scripture there hurt me because them use it to justify every bad thing. But anyway, sorry guys, may I drink a cup of green tea? Japanese green tea is very good for you. So everyone deserves a second chance. And it's not like Spice, was going to sing those outrageous songs. So I believe she should get a chance to do what she would really love to do, because the context of what she'll be sharing is to bring peace and is aimed at eliminating the crime and violence in the schools and teach the youths the right things. No one is perfect because we're all born in sin and shaped in iniquity, he reasoned. Meanwhile, Jacobs called on the education ministry to implement rules so that certain artists are filtered before they go in front of students and advised principals to choose more positive and conscious artists. What a controversy, man. Let me not tell you, I aspire to be you. It's a hell of a controversy. Hmm? So, interestingly enough, you have got a pastor here who believes that, listen, she isn't going in there to do these performances and so on and so forth. But I don't think Pastor Joseph Williams was aware that based on the previous visits that she has done, this song is blasting in the background. So, be it that she performed it or not, the children are still being exposed to lyrics that include things that are indeed beyond their years, even if it's about speaking out against them. You do not want these lyrics to be echoed through your school hall. It's not something you want your children who have got a naive mind to investigate and learn about things that parents probably have not already discussed with them in the first place. I think that it really had to do with the way the whole thing was planned, how it was marketed, that had she done it through a different way, or not bringing those lyrics to the forefront as the reason for the tour, had she completely separated that and just said she wanted to do some humanitarian work, then it would have been a different cup of tea. It was the way it was packaged that already basically it kind of stopped it from it get go. And it's such a shame because trust me, a lot of these kids know more about the things them than you and I. Them overexposed when it comes to the internet. Them watch all kind of things that if we watch that, we feel like we need to bathe consecutively for 24 hours. You understand? And because we are unaware of it and they don't talk to us about everything they learn, they're walking away thinking that these behaviors are to be normalized. So when you hear a child saying they're not interested, those children become targets of bullying and peer pressure. So all of her intention was positive and great. But the way it was packaged was not helpful, given the cultural limitations that she was operating within. Our society is not quite ready for such open discourse, and it's a shame we're not, but we're not. Okay? And research is necessary, market research, when you are about to launch something in a country. Because remember now, Gracie, you are in America, and as much as you're Jamaican, you are Americanized to a huge extent, right? And what would be considered a thumbs up in that context, will not be considered a thumbs up in the Jamaican context. So there needed to have been some sensitivity in delivery. But as for this, brother, yeah, but up at top, the president of the National Parent Teachers Association of Jamaica, Stuart Jacobs, he does have some solid points that indeed artists must be vetted. And if they have got those kind of songs, they should not be given access to the children. I do not see anything wrong with taking that stance. But be it the case that children might be listening to that, let them listen to it under their parents at them yard where their parents say, okay, I'll allow you to listen to something adult. Let it be your choice. Let it be your choice as the parent. You understand? The reality is that in garrison communities and even in middle class and beyond, your child will be sitting on a veranda and they will just be reading a book and coming across the airwaves will be some of the lewdest lyrics that you cannot contain. They will take it in and start to tap their foot and say, hey, the song that I see, me need to find the song there. And by the time you look, because we do not manage noise very well in Jamaica, Because I can assure you, you could not be making them amount of noise here in England. The amount of fine you get. Hmm? But I'm saying, it's so difficult for you to preserve the ears of your child because everywhere it's blasting aloud. So at what point are parents going to sit down with their kids and have these discussions about what these lyrics means? To me is a more pertinent question. The awareness of such should not be coming from within schools. It should be starting at home. What is the government doing to make sure that parents are aware of what these lyrics mean? What responsibilities are being placed on artists for their delivery? There's so much workings when it comes to public access to lyrics that are considered to be uncensored, and how children are in the environments where they are played. How much of this can you control in an environment like Jamaica? It's next to impossible. Me as a little tiny sitting there walk on a cuss bad word and I sing lyrics where really and truly enough for them. As I said, I remember I commented on a teacher's page on TikTok because he was dancing with kids, and the lyrics that were there, everybody thought they were innocent until I broke down exactly why they were not. Because even he came under my comment and said, "What you mean?" And me say, "Look at this. I mean, what song was it? Um, is the one that sound like Pocomania. The one that sound like Pocomania people. I don't know if I remember which one it is that I'm talking about. The one that sound like Pocomania. Oh my God, how it go? Something about from the other day, me book her something another. She want me pick her pen better that. She said, all right, the one day. We do it all night. That song, that same song. And I said, that's not appropriate for primary school kids. And everybody did jump on me at first until me break down why. And then them go mute. Including the teacher was asking why. And I said, hello? She want me pick her whatever. She want me do it all night. Hello? You understand? And it is just the way these lyrics are written that will allow children to sing it because they're so catchy and not even understand what it means. And people are gonna laugh and go, but they don't understand what it means. Let them go on, man, and just enjoy themselves. And okay, dancing is better than actually doing the act. But one day that conscience and that consciousness will kick in. And everything that they were singing will leave its footprint on their development. And what they consider to be innocent lyrics being sung, or at least not innocent lyrics being sung by an innocent child, will turn into instructive devices where children will carry out what they've learned in older years. You understand me? So, Spice, as much as I love you to bits, and I so enjoy your music, because me a big woman, me can dance to wherever it is that you put out there. I do believe that Jamaica's stance is clear with this, for good reason. I do not believe it was necessarily handled well. And I think that initial work should have taken place with research from your team to determine the atmosphere around welcoming you into that capacity using the song Hell No. And on that note, I'm going to leave this topic and move on to the next. Thank you so much. Aspire to be you. I hope it's clear. Right? Okay, we're going to move on to the next. Happy Daddy did I watch? Oh, God. Decided to do an early one today. Tomorrow, busy. So, let me just take some arguments before I get into this subject, because this subject is really, really, really important. And we really need to discuss it. Point is, some teachers are just holding on to a job, no understanding of what it truly means to be a teacher in the holistic sense. And you know, Puerto Dora, I'm going to say this. That male teacher was actually a brilliant teacher. He went viral many times for his videos dancing with kids. And he was known in that community. There was even a video when he left. He's a young man when he left teaching, of how much the children and the adults, the parents adored this man. He invested a lot in those kids. So I would not necessarily say that he was not necessarily a good teacher. He was a very good teacher. But sometimes when you don't know better, you will act and thinking that you're acting in the interest of the child and not realizing those other things, because there are layers to child psychology, that sometimes I think, I wonder about the training that is given to teachers in teacher colleges, if certain things are addressed, right? So on that note, I'm not going to criticize him too much. Okay, so we're going to go into this thing about remittances and illegals in Florida. Um, because what? Let me tell you something. Ron DeSantis has been trying to do this to undocumented and illegals for a long time. Let me tell you something. I know it first. From as way back as 2023, there was a leaked email in a public records request that suggested that this governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, was trying to explore new state restrictions on remittances. Right? In this leaked, let me see if I can pull up the leaked thing for you guys to see. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to make you see that a long time this in the pipeline, and this whole thing with Trump has allowed it to come to the surface. Right? Hold on. Take a look. Okay? So this was the leaked message. And the leaked message was on the 23rd of March, 2023. Right? And it was about asking for a detailed explanation of each provision in the bill. Okay. So now, having done that, there were some talking points. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the talking points now. And the things that he said that he wanted to do. Hold on there. All right. Let me make you see the talking points. So in the email, this is what was sent across. Let me just show you, so them people are very, very sneaky, you know. And when them go jump up and say, Lord, it's because of Trump. Some of these things were in the pipeline from Biden. But Biden would have been the one to have been laying on it and not necessarily wanting it to happen. And Trump come now with the fire and say it must take place. All right. So take a look at this. So this was from 2023. This was what was leaked. So the legislature has proposed extensive, let me make that bigger for you, legislative action to combat the increasing threats posed by illegal immigration as a result of the left's open borders agenda. The proposal includes strengthening statutes for the detention of illegal aliens, requiring use of E-Verify, enhancing penalties for document falsification, prohibited the issuance by local governments of ID cards to people who are not lawfully in the country, invalidating all out-of-state licenses to unauthorized aliens, requiring those registering to vote to affirm they are United States citizens and legal residents of Florida, preventing unauthorized immigrants from being admitted to practice law, and verifying the identity of those sending remittances out of the country. So there it is in black and white that he has had this to be, to be delivered for some time. Now, what I find interesting, because DeSantis is one of the most anti-illegal immigrants politician. And interestingly enough, despite having some pretty harsh suggestions and harsh things he wants to do, they are trying to get him out. They're trying to replace him with the Minister of Agriculture in Florida. 10 million or 10, yes, a big amount of money at the Minister of Agriculture, to get the Minister of Agriculture to carry out the immigration agenda of Trump. And I'm going to explain to you why it is that they want to replace this man. And I'm telling you that this highlighted in yellow is the reason why they want to get rid of him. Not the other stuff. This. You understand? Because one thing with Trump, Trump like money. And anything that is going to make America rich, Trump is pro wealth. And this thing about remittances is going to put a kink in his financial plans. But I'll tell you why that is. All right. So he did a press interview where he broke down exactly how Florida is going to show them how it's done. And if you haven't watched it, I'm not going to play it because of, obviously for copyright purposes, but I can certainly show you the video that you need to go and listen to. And I'm going to, in the meantime, go through the actual transcript. So go take a look at this on Forbes Breaking News, right? DeSantis unveils plan to stymie illegal immigrants sending remittances to their nations of origin. Okay, watch that video. It's not very long. It's only a 4-minute video. And then you will listen to him speak about it directly. So one of the first things that he says that he wants to do is to make sure that you have to be a US citizen in order to vote. So in order for you to declare that this is what you are, when you go to vote, you have to check a box. And when you check a box, that box will say, I am a US citizen. Once you check that box to say that you are a US citizen to allow you to vote, if you are not a citizen, you would have committed something called an election crime. This would give the government the authority to go after you and to prosecute you. So what may I try to tell you is that they might lay a trap at your feet. You may want to go and vote. You may want to have your say in who's going to lead, who's going to be in charge or whatever. And every time you go, you're going to have to declare if you are a citizen, because citizens are the only ones that they will allow to vote. Notice they're not talking about if you are legal in the country, Listen, In other words, you could be legally going through a process, have a legal status. You have to be a full-blooded citizen in order for you to vote. A full-blooded citizen in order for you to vote. And they will prosecute you if you tell a lie and check that box that you are a US citizen when you are in fact not. So it says here, anyone that checks it, if it turns out they're illegal, doesn't even matter if they vote at that point. They have committed the offense that is going to have a huge deterrent impact. He's saying that you've committed the offense, the voting offense, and that in itself is a reason for them to send ICE for you. And expedite you leaving the country. So he says, I remember one of the first people that was prosecuted who was illegal and voted. He admitted it and he said, in Broward County, they told me I could vote, that it didn't matter. No, it matters. And so changing this will further discourage anybody who's not a Florida resident, US citizen, for voting. We also want to increase penalties for illegal aliens that commit voter fraud or provide false voter registration information when they try to vote again. If you people know they're going to be held accountable, they're going to be much less likely to do it. So that's reducing the vote count right there, so you know. You think so this is in the agenda of Trump? You think that Trump don't know that a lot of the people that vote for him were undocumented and not citizens? I am highlighting this for a reason so you guys can know why it is that even though he must say all them something here and he's all about getting the immigrants them out, he might go too hard and Trump wants him down. Okay. Yes. Yes, Keisha, that is correct. That is who should vote. But there hasn't been any penalties per se outside of Florida. Florida's approach where as you do so you commit such a big crime you can get deported. He's trying to make it worse. In other words. So people will come illegally because they can work more menial tasks, but make a lot more money in the US than they can in a third world country. So they'll come, make money, and then send money back in remittances to the host, to their family, friends, wherever, to the home country we are going. So let me tell you this. This is about the remittances when they must send back money. Now I heard a certain such man telling his brother that it is perfectly legal for him to come up and work and send back money. Well, this money I say, them kind of something, there is a kind of thing him want to cut down pan. You understand? Because they believe that money is being lost this way. So anyway, so they send back their remittances to family friends. And in order for that to be curtailed, they want to impose ID verification for foreign remittances. So you have to show it. Yes, you have to verify yourself and show that you have got lawful stay in the country. So this is not about you being a citizen. This is just showing that you are lawful and that you are able to be in the country in order to send money outside. This to him would be a huge deterrent for people coming to the state of Florida illegally. He says he believes the Trump administration is going to do something on remittances, but I think they may need Congress to do something like that. And who knows whether Congress will ever do anything. So, we have an opportunity to do it here in Florida. I think in a way that makes a lot of sense. And then finally, bail and flight risk presumptions. We want a rebuttable presumption that illegal aliens are in fact a flight risk and deny them bail when they are brought up on charges. Torratid. No, sir. So if you get arrested, you are brought up on a charge, you are placed on bail, you are allowed to leave. You don't need to be detained, but you're out on probation. You must automatically, according to this man, be considered a flight risk. And this man wants to make sure that all illegal aliens are denied bail, no matter what. So you could have go into prison for, I don't know, go into jail rather, not prison, go into jail for something simple. Something simple like petty theft. I don't know. Something simple. And the moment you have to exit on bail conditions, it's going to be denied you. You can't exit on it. You're going to be considered a flight risk. They're going to keep you locked up and probably then expedite you to leave. So now it is such a golden opportunity, is what he's saying. It's a golden opportunity. Boy, I tell you, I'm not going to go into much else of this because essentially he's just kind of justifying himself and, giving little examples or whatever. But these are his intentions. He wants to set an example and set a precedent. And as I said, yes, our excess traffic tickets, you better believe it. KITY. You could be in lockup for the simplest thing. And then when they discover that you are literally without papers, that is the end of that for you. You have to just go and about your business, go and back to your country, right? I mean, it is going to make sure that nobody no step out of line, yes, and that everybody behave them damn self, yes. But mighty God, isn't it harsh? Isn't it harsh? You know, because it really and truly it doesn't take much, right? It really and truly does not take much. But you see, the problem is that DeSantis is missing the point of what it is that Trump really wants to do with remittances. What Trump wants to do, because he recognizes that such a lot of money is going out of the country. Millions in remittance, that Trump wants to tax it. In fact, he wants to tax them up to 50% interest on their remittance that they're sending back, and then use that money to actually finance their immigration agenda. You hear what I said to you? That is what Trump wants to do. Let me see if I can pull up that article and let you see it for yourself. What it is that Trump is trying to do, right? Let's see if I can find it. Right, here we go. I think it's this one. Trump can fix illegal immigration. All right. Let me see if I can find it here. This is the one. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me show you a seminar talk out of me is. Because if you don't think a joke me I make. Right? Let me share my page and show you guys what I'm talking about. Window. Looky here. This is what Trump is looking into. Now, this particular article uh, is an opinion article, but I have seen him kind of moving it. I can see him moving in this direction, because anything for doing money and how it could benefit the US is what Trump is all about. Right? Because remember, he's all about making America great again, which means that he's also looking, your economy is your strongest weapon. If you are the wealthiest, then you are the strongest. And that is just automatic, right? So let's take a look at this. While some illegal aliens do pay taxes, for instance, property taxes, sales taxes can be hard to avoid. Estimates are that this tax revenue only covers about a sixth of the expenditures illegal migrants impose. Further, many people here illegally work for cash under the table, typically avoiding any exposure to state or federal income taxes. Adding insult to injury, many illegal aliens net a profit from refundable tax credit programs. This person is proposing to leverage reconciliation. To address this challenge, Congress should, as part of reconciliation in early 2025, act to levy a 50% tax on remittances sent from the US to other nations by illegal aliens. In 2017, it was estimated that all immigrants worked in the US sent about $148 billion of their US earnings abroad, with about 19% of that sent to other nations by people working illegally in America that year. Scaling up to account for Biden's open borders, we can estimate that some 17 million people are now in the US illegally, up from 10.5 million in 2017, meaning somewhere around $46 billion is sent out of the nation annually by unauthorized workers. A 50% tax on remittances sent abroad by people working in the US illegally could generate upwards of $23 billion, a tiny fraction of the net $151 billion cost in social services incurred by illegal immigrants. In the context of reconciliation, the added revenue could fund critical needs such as completing the border wall, enhancing security along both the southern and northern borders, accelerating deportations, and increasing the number of immigration judges to ensure due process. So, do you see how, when it is that you have got no verification, so you are going as an undocumented, you're going to go send some money back home, back at Jamaica or so. You don't have no documents. When you go there now and them say, okay, give me some ID, some proof that you are legal in the country, you can't have none. Them not gonna tell you, if them go down this route, them not gonna tell you, okay, you can't send. They're gonna say, okay, your fee is now this. You hear what I'm saying to you? Your fee is now this. Oklahoma has already enacted a tax on all remittances, imposing a 1% fee on international wire transfers. That tax generated $13 million annually in 2016 and 2017. Of course, people here illegally might not be inclined to pay a remittance tax. They may instead turn to alternative methods of expatriating their cash, such as using cryptocurrency or existing criminal, human, and smuggling cartels, many of which recent illegal immigrants are required to pay a portion of their earnings to anyway. To increase the compliance, non-payment of a remittance tax on illegal earnings could be classified as a felony, moving non-payers to the front of the line for deportation and permanent exclusion from the US. And this was actually stated on Fox. So trust and believe that such advice is the kind of thing that Trump would pay attention to. He would listen to that. And it all boils down to money. So there are serious consequences to either pathway. Be it that he's saying, listen, you need to show ID or you can't send money. People back home are going to feel it. Even the very person who is trying to make sure that they have a little thing down there when them go down is going to feel it. So they would have to make sure that they have a friend who is legal, who can then send it on their behalf. Come on now, that's what would happen. Trump is going to see that people are going to find a way to do it. So does it make sense to ban remittances purely on the basis of whether or not you have got your stay? It doesn't make sense. What makes sense is to capitalize on it. I'm going to see that. So you're going to have foreigners paying through their nose. Hear me, foreigners. We call them foreigners. Undocumented. Right? Undocumented paying through their nose. Illegals paying through their nose to send money back home. So where them can't catch Kwashi, them catch him short. Because you may be making some money from cash in hand, but thinking that you can then send that down and you escape it. You catch the tax over the next side. Yes, but hold on a second, people. 1 second there, please, and thanks, because somebody are ring me. Hold on 1 second. But Jesus, as somebody a ring me fi sell me window and door. Me tell you about them people, yeah. Anyway, I apologize, people. So as I was saying, somebody says here, Actually, the services have already almost doubled their money transfer fee. Yes, yes, this is what the money transfer fees are all about. Somebody was saying something further up that it's not just illegals who send money. Yeah, those people who have got their legal stay will not be charged. What they're recommending people is a tiered structure of fees. So, in other words, if you are a citizen or you have your green card or you have some legal status in the country, you would pay a lower fee because you'd be able to prove that you have got lawful residency in the country. If you do not, you would pay twice as much, is what they are suggesting. You understand? So it's really about the proof, right? In the pudding, so to speak. So what he will look at doing is making sure that whoever it is that is an illegal ends up paying the price, and that money gets more or less reinvested in the immigration scheme. You understand? So this person says they will start with undocumented and then yes, they will start with undocumented, but then quickly roll over into people with legal status because it's about the money. You're damn right. You're damn right. It will be a knock-on effect, right? And if they're allowed to do this, this is what will happen. Because from you're not a citizen, yes, and you're sending money out of the country, America is losing. So they're going to look at that as, no man, we are losing money here. Let's just up the fees across the board to discourage people from sending money out of the country. And we want the money invested inside. So people, me no know. Because so you can only send a certain amount at the moment by cash on your person. You can only carry a certain amount of money on your body. And for those people who are trying to get things to their family in need and stuff, if it should ever get to this, you're going to have to start seeking out assistance from people who have got their citizenship as the first step. You understand? While you try and get yourself organized, is all I can suggest. But even that in itself, maybe they may put something in place for that as well. Because if you don't know, if the person who you are referring to doesn't actually know you and don't actually know the person over where they're sending the money, I think there is some clause that says, do you know the person? And if they click that and them don't know the person, then a money fraud, that a transfer, a wire fraud. You understand? It's wire fraud. So there'll be all kinds of things as implications. For sure, you said them people are serious. What this person said, no. It's all about money, yes. But if legal people smart, they would take the opportunity to earn that money too. Buy digital assets. If you know, you know. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yes, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Crypto is the way to go. Bitcoin is the way to go. You just have to know how to do it. You understand? I wish my son was here. My older one, he's an expert at it. And he does very well. So, yes, I agree with that. We have to be smart. But just be prepared. Yes, it would be considered money laundering. Correct. Go ask a neighbor for a plate. Yeah, go ask a neighbor for a plate. But it would be considered money laundering. And if you get discovered, it's gonna be not just a rap on the knuckles. It's gonna be a straight lock up because them not having any mercy. So needed to bring this to your attention so that we could be aware of the developments and how it's going to impact on our communities, because obviously there are a lot of families who cannot imagine life without these remittances. Many cannot survive. You've got people who are paying for elderly parents who are going through dire illnesses. You're paying for land. You're paying for the building of a house. There's a lot that remittances sustain. So be prepared, particularly in the state of Florida, because if this rolls out in Florida and works well for them, if others will start to mimic. So just be prepared. All right, we're going to move on to our other topic. And I hope you like this logo. I'd like to hear your opinion on it. Um, What do you guys think about my logo? This new logo here, Jamaicans for Justice. And I wonder if you guys, if any clever graduates can tell me, what do you think inspired this? Before we go into the whole Chrissy discussion and talk about academics. Mm? Oh yes, Rochelle. Some friend you can't trust, you just ask them to send money and then TV. That is a fact. Take a look at my new logo, guys. What do you think of it? Oh, you love it? Brilliant. Brilliant. If you look at the detail of it, come on, I leave it up too much for people to if to know. Look, here is a brilliant graduate. Here is a brilliant graduate. Here is a brilliant graduate. Yes. 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 Correct. Correct. Here's another brilliant graduates. You got it. And can you see the J for J? You see it. So me tell us, me love, yo, me love all my graduates, them bright, you know. Remember me telling us, me love all the bright, you know. Huh? Me love all the bright, you know. Okay. So this brings me to this part. Um, my platform is a platform where we basically believe in social justice, and especially when it comes to the preservation and the protection and the empowerment of vulnerable children. It is a passion. It is something that we stand for with our full chest. And sometimes we will go out on a limb to do the unthinkable to make sure that it happens. We are Jamaicans for justice over here. And J for J has inspired us to be exactly that. So we continue to be J for J over here. But our J has expanded beyond one child. It's now going to include many, many, many children. It's not only going to include children, it's going to include many, many, many Jamaicans in the diaspora who need it. We are graduates for a reason, not a season. So I saw the latest weekly vlog from Chrissy. I saw the latest weekly vlog from Chrissy, and I'm just going to give my commentary on this. It was absolutely beautiful. And I want us to understand, and I know a lot of you think that I am one of the harshest you could ever imagine, and that's fine, because I can be. But I need you to understand that I am a very strategic thinker and I am a very strategic doer. I don't do things without thoughts. I think way down the road, sometimes beyond what many of you will think too. I know exactly what would happen when I did what I did. I knew. I told you guys I got down on my knees and I prayed about it. I told my graduates on Facebook I have something difficult I need to do. So you see all the persecution and stuff that's coming up from the noisy one them when I have no deep thinking. I expected it. I expected it to happen. I was prepared for it. You hear me? And a lot of people who normally would be like, go, go, HDK, we love you. When they saw that I made that drastic move, they went, Jesus Christ. No, sir. HDK, you have me nervous. Everything that I intended to achieve was achieved. And that is the silencing of lies. I have no reason to say anything else. I have no reason to say anything else. What I am observing now is exactly what I wanted to happen. And in case some of you missed it, go and listen to the speech. Go and listen to the speech. Because all this time, Jamaica has been clamoring for Chrissy to speak up for her child. All this time. You have said all we need is to hear Chrissy say that she stands with Jay. That's all we want to hear. And you see, I bet you so many of you are going to miss that she said exactly that. She said exactly that. I do not know what more can be expected at this point. Rachel, I hear you. But I do not know what more we can ask for at this point from the woman. She has given you exactly what she requested, what you requested of her. You needed to hear her say it. She said it. I will stand with you. I will support you. I will fight with you. No matter what. It is a step in the right direction. Now, listen, that doesn't mean that we are going to drop the ball if we observe anything, but it should give you some relief that those of you who are out there expecting this woman to completely break and crumble can take a pause. This is the part that is so important now. You have said the right words, Chrissy. You have shown the right emotions. Now let your thoughts and words manifest in your doing. There are going to be many amongst us who doubts it. And it's understandable because they have seen where you have said and done the opposite. They've seen it. And you have to give and take that. You're not gonna convince everybody all at once. The latest blog, plant-based Samoya. And yes, maybe it was because of the pressure, Dorothy. Maybe. But at the end of the day, isn't that the purpose of the pressure? Isn't that the purpose of the pressure? The purpose of the pressure is to get a result. And I think that while it is that many would be like, no, we want to see her run out and cuss and go and bad and done the dirty boy. And yes, okay, we want that too. But she has chosen a path of silence on certain matters. It is her right if she wants to speak or not. I would not be silent, but that's her right. At the end of the day, if we have applied enough pressure for her to feel like she should, and that's why she did, although I'm not really convinced of that. But if that's why she did, now it's about letting her Words manifest throughout our actions. We cannot continue to keep breaking down somebody who has actually met us halfway. That's my approach. But how she protect Jay with him still in the picture while he is still with him? How will it work? Now, OMGGGTV, a lot of people have asked that question of me, and I have asked them, um, do you know for a fact that she's still with him? Many have said that, oh, they know because them see hickey. Some say, oh, they know because she wear a ring still. Okay, in equal lights, in recent shots and videos, Mr. Man never have on him ring, where him claim say, him never take it off ever. What are we to read into that, parrots? I am saying, as far as I'm concerned, I don't business with some of the whatever between the two of them as long as the little girl is kept away from the man. That's all I care about. Keep him away. Keep him away. And also recognize that the persecution you faced was because you came across as aligning yourself with this man over the child. And if you learn anything from this, it really is about representing yourself as mother first. You said it, but now do it, everything else after. Big up yourself, sweet lady. I am not going to be persistently dragging the one parent that I expect to rescue these kids, to balance that little girl and help with her healing. You know, me not join that the party then, none tall. Anybody else who wants to continue to do so, that is their precare. That is why I said to you guys, I am an independent blogger. I blog on my own. I make my own path. I create my own thoughts. I am not influenced, led, or cajoled. I analyze independently. That is me. And when I see that it is time to allow somebody to do the right, and they have given me that indication that this is their new path, I will back off and let her show. Doesn't mean that if I see something out of the norm, that I will not react to it. If it is that it comes out that there is deceit, you know, so me I go expose it. If it is that something is, you know, me I go talk about it. But for now, I'm going to allow the lady to look after her kids. But I will always keep an eye on that dirty man. Trust and believe it now go stop that one. I don't trust him. I would believe it more if I had seen her make similar birthday posts for either of the children in the past. My son just turned 14 and you can find a birthday post for each year thus far. Real mom. I find, but given the fact that, Camilla, think about it. Given the fact that, put yourself in Chrissy's shoes for a minute. You have a daughter who has gone through something extremely traumatic. For which you may count yourself as partly responsible because you have facilitated a man who is not well. Don't you think you would go above and beyond to compensate for that in their latest moment of celebration? You're gonna do it naturally, you know. So if you're saying that this particular birthday seemed a bit over the top, I believe it's with good reason. You understand? So OMGGGTV says allegedly Jay birthday pics taken outside his apartment block. Allegedly, I know it's the same place where the little girl took her pictures in the the fairy thing with the butterfly whatever. But I don't know if that is his apartment with the green part on the outside. It's not enough evidence. People have to come more straightforward than that. She's decorating his apartment, that same apartment. Yes, I know that. I know she's decorating the apartment. My issue has never been with the fact that she's still communicating with him. Listen, I need you to understand, right? She has to communicate with him until she files some custody order and says that he cannot have any contact with his kids. Legally, she has no choice. At the end of the day, she has to deal with him. She has to co-parent with him because there's been no court documents in family court filed to say that she is the only person with sole custody as a result of what's taking place. That hasn't happened. So if that hasn't happened, they have to co-parent, they have to communicate. If she wants to decorate in place, she must know what the hell she do. You understand? It's the reintegration into the household with the girl is what we are focused on over here, not in them marriage perke. You understand? The little girl has to be preserved from the man. I'm taking this statement Chrissy made with one great grain of salt. It's been over 2 months and only now she says something. I'm giving her the side eyes and await her actions. And I think that's fair. Let me show this. That is fair. That is very, very fair. Okay? And it shouldn't be forced. You remember now, you're my graduates, you're thinkers, you're not sheep. I've given you my explicit opinion. My graduates, you are free to hold your own. If you do not believe that she should be given grace, you are within your rights to do so. I am saying that I am satisfied thus far that she has finally spoken. I am now going to only observe to see if the speech is followed up by action. Other than that, I've got nothing else to say. I believe the J for J movement has evolved into something bigger. And therefore, we should be able to explore further subjects where there are cases of social justice required. And it doesn't mean that that J is any less important. But take the steps to recognize when there is obvious evidence of a more secure child. What I saw her in terms of her personality in that video did not look fake. Y'all trying to tell me that Jay was pretending to be happy in that video? Hmm? As far as I'm concerned, such man definitely need to come down. Me no business with nothing else. That now go change. Him to come down straight. But this is the one parent that has to be rescued. And I will never stop saying that. Hmm? I am sympathetic towards her, but I don't trust what is being put on the social. Did she just do that for people to stop blogging about it? Maybe she did. But either way you take it, I also analyzed that little girl and her body language and her facial expression and everything that she was doing. And I said to myself, no, this little girl looks content thus far. Content. She was extremely expressive. She was extremely happy, but it doesn't mean that there isn't still stuff going on because no doubt she has got to still be going through her counseling and her whatever. The way Jay hugged and smiled her mom with the gifts, she was the most happy. It just seemed so genuine. Looked like she was legitimately yearning for her mom's embrace. Did you hear how she sounded when that little girl said, and she said, exactly, I'm getting to that. When that little girl said, I look just like you, mommy. For 1 second, I looked in the mirror, I saw your face. It filled her up with pride because that closeness with her mother seemed to be more than anything else what Jay is yearning for. Why are we as bloggers going to stop that or put things in the way to stop that from happening. Let it happen. Just like I say, everything has a natural end. For my platform, that's a natural end. Nah, stop beat CMR though. But for her, that's a natural end. That is all I'm saying. At the very end, she came out. She said, thank you to everybody. She said, thank you for the birthday wishes for everybody who liked her Instagram post. She said, thank you. She was over the moon with and overwhelmed by all the love that she has been receiving online. And she said, thank you for the support. Now, that can be read many ways. It could be the support of her family's platform, blah, blah, blah. It could be a subliminal message too. Now, if the child is saying, listen, thank you for being there, give her a moment to breathe. That man ain't there. And that's all I am happy about. She was genuinely happy to me. Um, yeah, I'm aware of that case and I will take a look at it at another time. Lots of platforms are J for J movement for the voiceless. Yes, lots are. Lots are. No HDK, she isn't pretending. It's her birthday after all, and she has a great personality. So she was genuinely happy in her photos because I no longer watch, so I won't see the vids. Okay. She was happy to be free. I pick up that Jay was happy at gift time, so excited, and he wasn't there. And that's the key. That is the key. That is the key. Some people are still saying, I can't trust Chrissy. How are you still with that man? How do you know she's still with that man? Just give me that evidence. You don't know. We're not saying she isn't, but I'm not going to come out here and say she is. I know that she's still communicating, but I know she has no choice. Somebody say, PR stunt to shut us up. Could be. We're going to keep watching though. Could be. Just keep that damn man away from that kid. That's all we ask. That's all we ask. Yeah? Do whatever the hell you got to do. Let that little girl grow and flourish and continue to grow into the beautiful young woman that she actually is. Spare her any more pain, any more hurt. You understand? Many people are going to be looking at you with a side eye, like somebody like this, like Patricia. And I am not going to go on my platform and tell my graduates don't think how they think. Because as I tell you, I don't run a platform of sheep. My people are all thinkers. They're analyzers. They will look at what evidence is out there. They'll form their own conclusion. Right? But be aware that this is going to be a work in progress. This is going to take you some time to convince the public. It's going to take you some time. Actions speak louder than words. But from my platform, in terms of the J for J process, where that little girl is concerned, all I care about is that man no dead. And that he's not out here lying and making that child look like a liar. And in the meantime, I can move on in terms of focusing on Jamaicans for justice. So if we see a case where there has been no justice served, we can talk about it. If we see a case that needs justice, we can talk about it. We can investigate that. We can go in at that. Right? But it doesn't mean that we're not keeping a little eye. But it's got to be something that shows that your word isn't bond. And I truly hope and believe that your word stands for everything. You understand? Because when you think of cases like academics, well, let me pin this comment. This comment here. This comment here shut. Wait there. Wait there. Let me sit here. No, sir. We're watching you, lady. And we have forensic visions. You're damn straight. Trish Don has given a good reasoning here. So I don't know if you want to look into that OMGGG TV. Trish Don says it's not his apartment. They have used the same spot for a photo shop over the years. Photo shot, I think, is what she meant over the years. Yeah. Uncle Larry, now stop drop shade. We can drop all the shade him once. I don't give a damn. Right? I don't give a damn about that. And as I told those people on my Facebook Live, that's now locked for only my subscribers because people like to steal stuff. There are people who have dedicated their time to basically report anything they see inappropriate anonymously. So listen, I when me now look, them I look, right? So trust and believe is not gonna be something that can just be hidden and or dismissed. If people spot things, they go act on it. And they've already told me that no matter what I tell them, they're gonna do it. So that. You understand? Right? Yes, do please like the live, people. I can see 398 of you here. Please like up the live. If you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. But we're going to talk about this academics case and why it is that it is so important for us to ensure that we protect our children online from predatory men or predatory adults, because it doesn't have to be a man. And I think I need to stop saying that because it really and truly does not have to be a man, right? Now, I don't know if you guys know who DJ Akademiks is. He's a podcaster, a streamer. And he has recently been brought under fire for his behavior towards a 15-year-old boy. So hang on a minute, let me pull this up because I was very silly and I didn't have my browser open, but I do know where to find it. Hold on. Okay. So if you haven't already seen the video of it, I do strongly suggest that you go and watch the video that they basically broke everything down, right? But I'm going to show you how unaware some online personalities can be when it comes to inappropriate language and behavior around minors. And DJ Academics is now really going through it, and it's deserved, actually. So let me just share this. Okay, I see people commenting about the posting of the child's picture by such man. Yes, it's unethical. It's not illegal, but it's unethical, and it does look like a preoccupation. Can be interpreted as harassment. All of those things. But I'm aware that even that has been reported. They're doing what they have to do right now. I've taken a step back on it, and they're taking the lead. Trust me. Okay, so DJ Academics under fire over that word. Allegations. Let's find another word for that. Let's call it brooming, as in BROOMING, brooming. So DJ Academics under fire over brooming allegations, disturbing comments towards a minor. So this is DJ Academics. As I said, he's a podcaster, he's a streamer, very, very popular in the States. So he faced backlash after making inappropriate comments to a 15-year-old during a live stream. The Breakfast Club aired the incident and praised the teen for his mature responses. And this is a lesson, really, a really good lesson to end the live on, where you have got to educate your children who heavily access online streaming and gaming and chat rooms in order to teach them how to appropriately respond if they're approached by a predator or by somebody who speaks inappropriately as an adult to a child. So the audio that has leaked and is everywhere, and is also on the video that I'm going to suggest that you go and watch, shows the comments that were made on a live stream by DJ Akademiks with a 15-year-old who was reportedly moderating the Discord app. DJ Akademiks invited the teen into the conversation and started asking him a series of graphic and inappropriate questions. Okay, so below here's basically the script of the interview. He asked the teen if he would let the live streamer, a particular live streamer whose name is Platboy Max, do this to him. Okay, he said, Platboy Max said he wanted to try with you. Would you let Platboy Max, you, DJ Akademiks asked in the video. And he goes, this is a grown ass man asking the child this, So the little boy said no. And he goes, why not? You always wanted me to be next to you. I could be inside of you. This is a man saying this to a little boy. Shortly further into the conversation, DJ Akademiks raised a graphic hypothetical question, asking the teen moderator if he would have with an adult. So the question he asked is, if Platboy Max got a sister and she threw you in the box, would you smash? Like, seriously? Little child said, no, because I'm 15. The teen responded in the live stream. He goes, what that mean? She's above 18, the teen said in the live stream. It would be booming. So when he was confronted about this, so this is the video, Jess with the mess, yeah? Go and take a look at that. Where you can look at his response to it, okay? And that's on YouTube. When he was first confronted, he started talking about how much followers he has, how much he's known, how much he's given back to the streaming community. How the hell could they question him like that? How would you even think that I'm that kind of person? It's just a conversation. And how is that just a conversation, dude? How is that just a conversation as a grown-ass man to be having with a 15-year-old? How is that just a conversation? Apart from the fact that it's highly, gay, which the little boy also said, I am not. Why would you be initiating that kind of discourse with a minor and consider it to be funny? He was blocked by Twitch for breaching community standards, so he's no longer on there doing his streaming. And obviously he's gone quiet in the media. But I would imagine that little boy deserves a round of applause for knowing exactly how to respond to them kind of dirty mania, where all on the internet I do them kind of things here with barely legal kids. You understand? So at the end of the day, had he been vulnerable, had he been naive, just imagine where this could have led to. And these are our black men who are social media personalities doing this. And giving it a pass as what's the problem? What's weird about that? Little boy had to break it down to him. You're trying to get people to catch a case. His parents ought to be extremely proud. You understand? And who to say if they're not going to press charges? What did Anthony say? I see somebody here said, tell us more, Anthony. What did the law say? Where is Anthony? I'm scrolling up. For the rest of his life, I said for the rest of his life, him can't go near the picnic. When she's an adult, what that mean? She can make up her mind what she's gonna do. Okay? Is that the only lie you want to debunk? If I was being overzealous, doesn't stop the fact that he can't go around the child, does it, Anthony? Come here. Because there's always one in our fly out with them enough self. Come here. Anthony. It no mean say it no mean saying can't go around the picnic. Regardless. Hmm? So as long as she's a child, him have to stay away. Say that is a lie. Okay, some of you just love to ride with the simple things. It would have to be her choice. Does that clarify anything for you, sir? Hmm? Does it? Because some of you still want to come on here and justify the F-ray. And this is what I can't stand about you. And it have to be I bet you I bet he's an old man. Another Uncle Larry this, but your name Anthony. Eh? You want him to be around her. That is what you like. Listen, yeah? Move your blouse and skirt and come off on my platform. You hear what I say? You're within a preoccupation with molestation. Move. Hey, admin. Black that you know. Black that. That may I say. Black that. Because I don't have no patience for them over here. No patience for them over here. Please the block. Block. It has to be her choice. You know what I say? But anyway, all I can say is that with people like this out here, it's important to educate your children to make them aware of exactly how to respond to online approaches. It's going to always be a feature because the police cannot catch them all. And many times it will be happening right under your nose. Sit your child down today. Have the conversation today. Let them know what blooming looks like. Let them know what it can look like, how it can feature. Sometimes it can be about, oh, I'm going to send you some gifts for the game to make you an even better player. Oh my God, I can't afford that gift. Are you going to buy it? Yeah, I'm buying it for you. I'm sending it to you to make you get the best score. Sometimes that's what it looks like. Be aware of that. Yes, the teacher in your came out, HTK said, come here. Be aware of that. Make sure you tell your children, get them prepared, get them ready, because online is now a normal part of life. Anyway, guys, I hope you have found today's class interesting, that you have learned something, that it has given you food for thought. Either way you take it, we are over here, Jamaicans for Justice. And it really is about making sure there's a level playing field for everybody to have access to their human rights as well as their human needs. Not wants, needs. All right. Big up on the nice clean stuff. Make sure that you like up the live on your way out. I am going to be going through the comments and do indeed drop them purple hearts for Jay. She is growing beautifully and we are very pleased with that last blog. All right. For those of us who are pleased, I'm not force everybody to do it. Everybody else who are pleased, please do. drop them purple hearts, okay? I remember when I found out my friend's boyfriend, it was, oh my gosh, I was so nervous. Oh my goodness. You know, I'm sure that even as an adult, their relationship will be strained. Correct. Absolutely. How would she feel around him? Exactly. Roblox. Yes, man. Lots on there. Jaylee, this is a fact, right? So lots on there on Roblox. And if your kids are playing Roblox, you have to be careful. Yes, you have to be careful. All right, guys, like up the live and bless you, bless you, bless you. I'm out. This is your girl, Hey Teacher K. Bye bye.